Well, welcome back to the second half. The Chelsea players in a little bit of a huddle in terms of attacking. They'll need to do better to win the game. I think they'd have settled for a point before the start, or would they? Is that Emma Hayes' way? No changes for them, nor the Arsenal. At the start of the second period, Arsenal have had more chances on goal, the better chances, but they've failed to find the back of the net as well, without Miedemar, without Mead injured. We saw the effect Beth Mead had in the game last season. But here we go in the second half. Arsenal in the red and white, and defending the goal away to your left-hand side. And out by Zinsberger. And here's Leah Williamson. There's a little bit of space here now for Hurtig. She had a quiet first half. I felt they'd give her the ball enough. Reuter pushing further forward than we've really seen in the game, and her cross winded Magdalena Eriksson. The player she's been for Chelsea since joining 6 years ago, this coming summer. 4 league titles in a haul of 10 major trophies. The big one they want is the Champions League. The draw for that hasn't been made yet for the next phase. Both of these two teams through. It's another long period out injured. Around about this time last season it was. She was out until the March. Blackstenius, a Swedish teammate, away by Charles. Ball just caught the wind there and dropped. There's a deceptive wind inside the Emirates. Corner flags flopped on that far sidelet. But I think that belies a bit of a swirl as Chelsea look for Kerr with a direct ball through the middle. And she has Gura right into her left-hand side. Wasn't the best piece of defending by Reuter. Kerr. Oh no, was she tripped there or did she stumble? Well, no appeals. Suggests she just stumbled. Well, a great ball in by Blackstenius. Kim Little made the most of it. Helped out in there by Velti. Two of them have combined well. You see Sam Kerr going down in the penalty area there with a little stumble. And just imagine a men's senior game and how many would have immediately surrounded the referee in protest. It's a major difference between the men's and women's games still, I'm glad to report. A little bit more dissent creeping into the women's game over the last 3 or 4 years, I've noticed, but by and large it's still much healthier for the lack of appealing and surrounding the referee. Placed her body between the ball and Reuter. There was contact again, you know. Don't think it was a penalty, not enough for me. Raphael into Kim Little. Chelsea are aware that Raphael does like to bring the ball out, and as she tried to do that, so Jessie Fleming went across her. Bustling run here by Ford. James again working so doggedly to get back there with her and dispossess her. She's a tenacious worker on the right hand side. She's done well enough to get Chelsea a throw. Came into this game with 14 tackles this season, 11 interceptions, as she understands the game, reads the game well. I mean, to put that into context, Magdalena Eriksson, one of the best readers of the game in European football as a defender, has only made 7 more interceptions than her in a defensive role this season. That's how hard James works. Buchanan. Chelsea haven't played that well. Here's forward. Into the penalty area, and goal kick is the result. Charles did well. Reuters had a strong game for Arsenal, the right back. Played in the Euros last summer. Part of their World Cup qualifying campaign that came to naught in the end. $46,811 tickets were sold for the game. Not too sure all of those have turned up on the day, but that's a huge number of tickets to sell for a WSL game. And congratulations to all. If that is the confirmed attendance, it would be the second highest here this season for a WSL game, and 1,000 shy of the North London derby. It's Raphael. One of these Arsenal women will be watching the men's North London derby a little bit later on in the Premier League. Little, nothing available. Sophie Ingle again, just a calmness in the way she approaches the Arsenal player to block off any attacking. Catley with the ball in, and Musovic stops the corner. It's a foul. Got sandwiched there. Ball coming from the left-hand side. Remember her playing left-back for Australia in Canada 2015. Or forward role in France 4 years later. Musovic in that side beaten at Liverpool, the only game of the season, 2-1. She didn't make a save in that game. Didn't have to, apart from the goals, which she couldn't keep out. Valti, Raphael, they're still dominating the ball. Free kick to Arsenal. A word of a warning for Erin Cuthbert over the whole game, actually. I'd be surprised to know that Chelsea have had more of the ball. In this second half, I think Arsenal have been on top. A word for the fourth there from Jonas Eideva. But Stenius didn't realise that Eriksson was coming across to cover. Hurtig. Oh, it's dangerous and pushed out by Musovic under pressure. That's the closest we've come to a goal. Arsenal, another ball back in. She saved it again, Musovic. This time from Hurtig's header. Twice in a matter of moments. Lena Hurtig, the Swedish international, has gone close. Crept inside Magdalena Eriksson, who was sleeping. Power behind the header, and it was downwards, but it was too near the goalkeeper. Managed to block it, Musovic. Arsenal on top, very much so. Hurtig's away to the right-hand side. That's Stenius in the box. Now here's Ford. Big deflection off Cuthbert, who did well. Well, she would have enjoyed the fact that Chelsea allowed the shot to get off there, but she would have enjoyed her saves in recent moments. blocking from her international compatriot. Together they went to the World Cup in France, so Musovic sat on the bench. Fleming caught in possession, no foul. Arsenal beginning to purr. Ingle, important challenge. Arsenal throw. They know the importance of this. Here's Ford. Charles went shoulder to shoulder. No, she didn't. The referee says it's a penalty. Well, she struggled all day long against Caitlin Ford. I initially thought it was shoulder to shoulder. It might have been outside the box. And that is exactly what Sophie Ingle is saying. It was outside the penalty area, but Arsenal have a spot kick. There's contact there. For me, that's outside the penalty area. No VAR, of course. It was outside the box, and I don't think the foul continued inside it unless the referee deems that's a trip. There's contact there. And I think it was initial contact, shoulder to shoulder, that sent, or shoulder to back it might have been, that sent Ford to the ground. This is contentious, and not the first contentious decision in an Arsenal-Chelsea clash. Kim Little, with her great experience, has the responsibility from the spot. Crucial moment in the WSL season. Big crowd at the Emirates. Big moment. Big game player. 1-0 Arsenal. Took it brilliantly. Applause from the coach. They started the second half very strongly. Niamh Charles had her uncomfortable moments, but I think she was harshly dealt with there with the decision. Watch it again. Contact is there, 2 yards outside the box. Doesn't continue in the penalty area. And I think the tangle of legs between the two was when Ford was already on the deck. Does she judge the referee that Niamh Charles' left leg catches the Arsenal player behind the knee? If so, I think that's harsh as well. But there it is. Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0. Can they land back-to-back WSL successes at home against Chelsea? Marnham with the ball in, and Musovic has to save, claws it away from Ford as she came into the penalty area, helped out back in there. The goalkeeper. That Arsenal perilously close to a second. I think it was Niamh Charles who got a foot to the undersole of her foot to it to clear away. It's a lovely ball in by Marnham. Keeper in two minds, might have been bolder initially. But then, via the boot of Charles, she did clear it away. Arsenal strong now. Marnham, that's why. They are by far the better team at this moment in time. How, with talent like Frida Marnham and Guro Reiten, were Norway so poor at the Euros? I know the coach left his job shortly afterwards. Approaching the hour. by Buchanan. Chelsea yet to test Manuela Zinsberger in the Arsenal goal. They might do now. She's been very alert, sweeper keeper, to that situation 3 times now. She's heard from a box, knowing that Kerr is bearing down on the Arsenal goal. Cuthbert doesn't deserve to be on a losing side with her work rate. Buchanan. Now James. Just wonder if Chelsea could get James and Fleming and Wrighton 5 yards further up the pitch and push Arsenal back, because they're under the cosh now. And if they do push up a little bit higher, then Millie Bright can crash out one of those beautiful long diagonal balls she plays very often for Chelsea in England. That was more direct up to Kerr. Ingle. That's a good diagonal. Away to Wrighton, but Dean Reuters played very well against her. Kadisha Buchanan. Charles. And James. Cuthbert on the ball. Muddled that, Chelsea. We'll make a change here, the visitors. Perisset is going to come on and Fleming's going to go off. Perisset is a fullback nominally, can play right wing back. And Kirby on for Charles, so Perisset effectively replacing Charles, and Kirby effectively replacing Fleming. And Arsenal nearly through again. It's a good challenge by Buchanan. Leave Perisset. Ford. That's Dennis in the middle. Caitlin Ford will go for goal here. And decent goalkeeping by Zinsberger, because look at the distance she managed to gain with the pushed clearance. It's all Arsenal. Had a look. Thought she needed to go alone. And she brought the best out of the goalkeeper. Clearance away by Williamson, I should say. Ingle. There's Fran Kirby, has 7 goals this season. 6 from just 13 shots in the WSL this season. That's the highest conversion rate of any regular scorer in the league. Give her a chance, she's likely to score. Wrighton. She's had no change out of Dean Reuter at all. And Arsenal have covered up on that, their right, with Hurtig dropping back, doing a good job. In the same way Ford has doubled up with Catley. They've had the better system today for this game and the better players. And Chelsea make a difference. Mentioned Kirby, their other substitute, Perisset, who's just come on. They signed from Bordeaux in the summer. It's her 13th game for the club. She's a French international. Played 44 times for her country. Cuthbert, Cuthbert again has it. Now here is Eve Perisset. Raphael cleared, only as far as Cuthbert, and then that shot is deflected by Kim Little. So it's going to be a corner for Chelsea. England there, Cuthbert and James. What's testing? And hurting at the near post did well to get it away. Danger still not over. Eriksson. Still Zinsberger to make a meaningful save. Chelsea chasing a game at Arsenal for their second season running. Ingle. Kerr, 2 on her straight away. Now James, Perisset is wide. James. Some enjoying the sunshine. Cold wind in London today. Bright. There's Buchanan. Perisset, the 28-year-old French international. Further, she's a very versatile player. Can play as the right wing back very comfortably. Perisset has done for her country on many an occasion. I seem to remember her scoring in the Euros against the Dutch, wasn't it? In a game that went to extra time. They can't get out though, Chelsea. This has been the story of the game, really. We're into the last quarter now. Little won that header. Here's Marmon. Blackstenius. Now Ford trying to bust their way through. Bright covered in behind Buchanan. Ford pulled Buchanan back. Arsenal will say that Buchanan was blocking the run, but it's just good defending for me. James. Kirby has a look. Now back to James. Perisset. Cross looks for Kerr, taken away by Leah Williamson. Ingle is there, set up Kirby. Better from Chelsea. Wonderful scoring record over the years. 268 games for club and country. She scored 188 goals. Scored 100 for Chelsea. Last one came against Lasnia in the Champions League. That's not a penalty for me. If anything, it should have been a free kick the other way around. Little touch on there by Kirby. Ingle! That was flying. It was flying, but it was wide, and they haven't got their shooting boots on today. She was well positioned there, Ingle. 52nd meeting between the two. This would be Arsenal's 30th win, but most of those wins came in the early days of WSL football or its predecessor. Chelsea have dominated recent years. And this would be 3 defeats in 3 here on this ground for them against the Arsenal. He still has a major danger out there in Freedom Arnhem. He scored 4 goals in the last 6 WSL games. Mind you, Chelsea still have a real danger on the counter-attack, and they've scored more goals from high turnovers than any other side in the WSL. As soon as they pick up the ball, they're at your throat. And that's poor by Arsenal, and they have gone flat in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Chelsea have made 2 changes. He might be thinking how he can change things around a little bit. Not a great deal of time to train with the new players. Although the Dutch international will come into midfield if she comes on. Cool, Danish international, played in the Euros. One of those might come onto the field of play. Here's Little for Arsenal. Having a look, didn't get the run there from Lena Hurtig. Arsenal a line of 4 players to stop Chelsea playing out. Didn't stop Minnie Bright doing just that. But that's one back, and one back well by Wienreuter. So in the end, the press did work. "18 important minutes to go." No difference between the two sides, by the way, just 1 now. As the cross comes in to test Musovic, it hits the ball onto the bar, and the cross by Catley. Wienreuter. That's a corner and a let-off for Chelsea there. Fortune favoured Jachira Musovic. Tried to palm the ball over as she's coming down off the jump. It was ill-timed, so she's not going to get great height on the save. And as a consequence, it hit her own bar. At the moment, there's only one team that looks as if it's going to go on to win this. And it's Arsenal who are attacking and looking for the second. Musovic's way to get the ball was blocked off. Eriksson got it out to Hurtig. Little. All game, she's oozed class. We have 16 minutes to go. Catley on the right-hand side of the defence, headed away by Bright. Williamson crashes it forward. And she's there again. And Williamson OBE. Forward, just got out in time there for Chelsea by Percy. Now Ingle finds Cuthbert. Fine ball. Kerrs had to drop out wide though to get involved in the game. She's seen very little of the ball. She won't there either. Let's overcook the pass. Arsenal change up and coming as they protect this lead. They're unbeaten in their last 10 WSL London Derby matches. They've won 8 of those since they lost at Chelsea in February 2021 by 3-0. Stenias's fouled cuff, but arm came back, caught her around the mouth. She's had a strong game for Chelsea, Cuthbert, but there are one or two who've been virtually anonymous. Kerr's not been in the game. She only takes a blink of an eye, though, to score a goal. Gura Wrighton hasn't really been involved, but she's a fine deliverer of a ball. There's Kerr to time her run. Wrighton invariably looks for her, and Kerr won the header, and Eriksson's nod down is gently saved by Emanuela Zinsberg, and that's the first save she's had to make. Chelsea's first effort on target comes after 76 minutes. Here's Ingle. James to run directly at Arsenal. Good block by Catley. It's a fine game, the 28-year-old from Melbourne. And the 60th game for Arsenal. Had a good career in Australia. She won titles with Melbourne Victory and Melbourne City. There's Kerr, who's won titles in Australia, US and England. Perez with a cross, Kerr's there, Williamson was just tucked up behind her. Ooh, and then dawdled a little bit with Raphael, who could have taken a charge and should have done and got the ball away. Marner. Catley into Leovalti. Buchanan had the stretch. Marner. Only 1-0. Zinsberg, a left-footed goalkeeper. One in the air, though, easily by Buchanan. Eriksson. Wrighton easily dispossessed. Certainly not had our best game for Chelsea, far from it, Gura Wrighton. That's all credit to Laura Vinreuter. Buchanan. James plays it back then to Ingle. Into Kerr, it wasn't really a good ball. Kerr was well marked. Arsenal started to sit deep. They've got cautious, conservative. There's only one goal in it. Chelsea overall in the game have had 59% of possession. And they're looking stronger as the game goes on. There's Perez. It's for Kerr in the middle. That's too near Zinsberger. Williamson with the presence of mind to get there, and then she got a bit of a tizzy with Raphael, but they got it away in the end. Reads the game well. She's only 25. Only over 200 games for the Arsenal. She'll play another 200 if she stays fit. McCabe's coming on for Arsenal. Popular with the Gunners fans. And Hurtig will depart, and our first league start has come to an end. Here comes the very popular 27-year-old Dubliner, an Arsenal player for 8 years. Jankovic has come on for the away side. So Sophie Ingle, I see, is departing. Jankovic, the Serbian international, who joined in the summer, only her 5th league game. Spent 2 hours of WSL football. The Serbian team that failed in qualification for the Euros. Midfield up. Martin just can't get into the game. Eriksson back to a goalkeeper. It should be Buchanan then for Chelsea, for whom time is getting tight. Eriksson will take the throw, James ahead of her. Jankovic. Kerr looks to a right-hand side. Perisic was arriving, has got in behind and got away from the challenge that time of Ford, and the chance of crossing was blocked. Williamson scuttled across. I think it was Leah Williamson who got the blocking in the end. Or was it Catley? It was Catley. Had she gone down there, you know, Perisic, here, I think she would have got a penalty. Seven minutes to go plus stoppage time. That's a whipped corner that's headed up and over her own bar by Steph Catley. Another corner for Chelsea, they're 6th of the game. 6.5 to go, played very, very deep. A little dummy carries it on to Cuthbert, whose shot was blocked and eased away in the end by Raphael, who got the first block in. Can they deal with the second ball into the penalty? Williamson climbed well, Cuthbert trying to wriggle into a shooting position. Little help close her out, but has given it away. Jelena Jankovic out wide. And Arsenal a little bit jittery at the back. Cuthbert with the hit. Another big block. Blackstenius tries to relieve some of the pressure. Ford. And out by Valti. That's a clever pass. Blackstenius goes one way for the Arsenal. Martin to the left. And they don't make use of that. Cuthbert for Chelsea. Back to her from Perisic. It's a dangerous ball. Catley has to give chase under pressure from James, and she got there. Concedes the throw in, but it was an important challenge by Catley. Used all her experience there. Another change for Chelsea. Johanna Rytting-Kaneryd's going to come on. And Eriksson departs. Rytting-Kaneryd we saw, I felt, to great effect in the European Championships for Sweden as she comes on for the Swedish legend Magdalena Eriksson. She's 25. She is a midfielder who I think is best in the wide positions. Instructions there for Millie Bright. She arrived from Häcken Kaneryd at the start of the season. It's a 10th league game. No way through there. Played 21 times for Sweden as Rytting-Kaneryd. It's 3.5 minutes to haul Chelsea back into the game and deny Jonas Eidevall another famous victory against their stiffest opposition. That's Aaron Dantini, the man who's in his ear there. He's Australian, a Swede, and part of the coaching staff as well, in Patrick Lindqvist. That's a free kick for Chelsea, and the referee explaining to Erin Cuthbert why she stopped it. Cuthbert felt she was away. She stopped it to bring out a yellow card against McCabe. Only been on the pitch a matter of moments. Arsenal with everyone back. Ball is won by Millie Bright, and wide it goes. Perese with the first time effort as it dropped to her. Felt she had to take it early. And scored in the league for Chelsea. Very tight game. When she'll believe it's been settled, if it stays like this, an incorrect refereeing decision. Niamh Charles' initial foul on Caitlin Ford was outside the penalty area, and I didn't see it continuing inside the box. Kirby. Perese, the French international, 90 seconds to go. Left foot into the box, it goes, look at the Kerr! And Sam Kerr scores against Arsenal to level it up. She has done almost nothing in the game. She had one early chance, she headed wide. But this time she buries it, and that's what Sam Kerr's all about. Only takes a blink of an eye, I said earlier on, for Sam Kerr to impact a game. She's onside, timed her run perfectly in behind Williamson. She can see the number on the back of Leah Williamson's shirt, which is always a danger for a defender. Williamson didn't know where she'd gone, and she knew where the back of the net was. Sam Kerr for Chelsea for the 11th time this season, 1-1. And it would maintain their 3-point lead at the top. Though Arsenal have the game in hand, and Chelsea could go on to win it. Arsenal with 4 new signings on the bench. Chelsea's bench players have had more of an impact coming on. Perese has made a difference on the right-hand side because she's pushed Ford back. something that Niamh Charles didn't do. Chelsea could go on and win this in stoppage time, you know. In these 2.5 minutes that remain, can the league leaders get a winner to draw 6 points clear? 72 goals in 95 Chelsea games. Absolutely prodigious goal-scoring machine. Highest ever scorer in the professional league in the United States of America and in Australia too. It's 221 goals now she has in her club career in 331 games. And this was the woman who, when she was a youngster, didn't like football particularly. She was an Aussie rules football player when she was young. Her dad and her older brother Dan were professional Aussie rules footballers. Changed to football when she was 12. Here she is now, one of the game's great goal scorers. Ford, her international teammate. Long by Marnham. The chase is on here for Katie McCabe. She's not going to win it. Can Kim Little, who's been excellent for Arsenal, drag them back into the lead? Possible player of the match. Marnham's been very strong for the Arsenal as well, I feel. Away by Wrighton. Now back in defence for Chelsea. Playing in the Ericsson left-back role. Perisset going by Frank Kirby, too much work to do. And it looks as if we're going to end all squares flared down. Okay. Crucially so for Arsenal, because she plays a vital role, and she has done in this game. Now push forward a little bit higher, Viavolti, with Kim Little sitting deeper as they go for a winner. They can't get it because time has beaten them, and very, very late on Emma Hayes' team came back to get a crucial point here with the equaliser from Sam Kerr to cancel out the Kim Little penalty. Harshly given perhaps against Niamh Charles for the foul on Ford, but Kerr, natural-born goal-scorer, has come up with another crucial one. And at the Emirates, in front of 46,811, it finished the league leaders Chelsea with a point here. Arsenal 1, Chelsea 1.